At the outset, I would like to extend a very profound gratitude to all our distinguished foreign guests who have joined us from friendly countries in this seminar. It is indeed my profound privilege to be part of this seminar on the de-radicalization, which is a subject of immense national significance for all of us. The experiences on radicalization challenges and various de-radicalization models being followed in different parts of the world shared during the seminar will prove extremely valuable and guide us towards formulating a more refined de-radicalization course for our similar initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan today faces multi-dimensional challenges both at external and internal levels. The challenge of unintended radicalism and consequent terrorism is complex and a real barrier to a common goal of peace and stability. What we witness today is the consequence of history and has an internal, regional, and global context. Without a dispassionate strategy appraisal, we can go wrong in our assessment as well as policy formulation on radicalization. Therefore, it will be appropriate if I briefly dilate upon geostrategic environment, twin challenges of extremism and terrorism, and way forward to enduring national policy and strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's security paradigm owes its genesis to traumatic events of United States-led Afghan jihad, inept post-Cold War handling of Afghanistan by the West, festering regional conflicts, and post-9/11 war in Afghanistan. The prolonged struggle against USSR brought various jihadi organizations from around the world under one umbrella and encouraged the radicalized ideas and mindsets. The concept of jihad, hitherto responsibility of a state, was privatized and politicized. Consequently, Pakistan continues to suffer from its ramifications. Post 9/11, Pakistan embarked upon a mission to eliminate terrorism and militancy from its soil. Pakistan Armed Forces carried out successful operations in Swat, Malakand, South Waziristan, Momand and Bajour agencies against terrorists and militants. This was done with full support of the nation and in accord with the political will articulated by the Parliament of Pakistan and a meeting of all political parties. In war against terrorism, our nation has made great sacrifices and achieved tremendous successes. We lost over 30,000 men, women and children, and more than 5,000 personnel of the security forces. This phenomena has not only created the law and order problem in the country, but also cost the nation dearly in financial terms, as the economy has suffered a loss of billions of dollars as a consequence. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me allude to Pakistan's role since 2008 at different levels to fight terrorism. A, in line with our own national interest, we are working closely with our global partners to fight terrorist groups and are determined not to allow use of our soil for terrorist activities against anyone. B, regionally. One, Pakistan is committed to working in unison with all neighbors for establishment of peace and elimination of terrorism. Two, Stable, united, friendly, and peaceful Afghanistan is in Pakistan's best interest. Pakistan wants independent and sovereign Afghanistan without any external influence. 3. Pakistan views India as most important neighbor and desires sustained, substantive, and result-oriented process of dialogue to resolve all outstanding issues, including the core issue of Jammu and Kashmir. We sincerely hope that ongoing process of comprehensive engagement will be fruitful. Pakistan would like to resolve all outstanding issues with India in a peaceful and just manner. However, India will have to play more positive and accommodating role and respond to Pakistan's legitimate security concerns. India will not find Pakistan lacking in will to write a new chapter in our bilateral relations. C. Internally. 1. Our counter-terrorism strategy is homegrown and indigenous in character and based on dictates of environment. We are following a 4D strategy, a national level that is dialogue, deterrence, development, and defeating the terrorist ideology and mindset. 2. Pakistan has come a long way from where it was in 2001 and 2002. The government galvanized public support against terrorism and given political ownership to the national struggle against terrorism. Law enforcement operations conducted by our valiant security forces are a success story in arresting militancy being emulated in Afghanistan as well as elsewhere. 3. Elimination of radical threat in SWAT, once propagated in global media as hub of terrorists, is a significant success. It includes return and rehabilitation of 2.4 million displaced personnel in a record time. 4. We banned organizations that fomented terrorism and sectarianism in the society. Efforts of our intelligence agencies have led to apprehensions of hundreds of Al-Qaeda operatives and targeting of their leadership. 5. A National Counter-Terrorism Authority, NACTA, was constituted in 2008 to create a database of terrorists and terrorist organizations and coordinate and exchange important information between the federal and provincial civilian agencies and security organizations. 6. Process of de-radicalization of reconcilable detainees alone cannot pay the dividends unless the hardcore category of apprehended terrorists is awarded exemplary punishments through an appropriate judicial mechanism. Thus far, such a legal framework was missing. 7. Anti-Terrorism Act promulgated essentially to tackle law and order situation had no answer for the extraordinary situation confronted today. 8. I am glad to inform that through elaborate and cooperative efforts of Federal Ministries of Law and Interior, the Chief Minister and the Governor of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, a legal framework order has been prepared. As a first step, this framework, endorsed by the President after approval of the Federal Cabinet, has become a law for FATA and PATA. 9. In due course, it would be extended to the settled areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and subsequently to entire Pakistan through acts of provincial and national assemblies respectively. It provides answers to a host of questions, starting from requisitioning process of army in aid of civil power, prolonged detention of terrorists, and most importantly, expeditious dispensation of justice. 10. My government has taken concrete steps to enhance capacity building of our paramilitary forces and police. We have set up community policing system for intelligence gathering and networking arrangements with NADRA to trace terrorists. 11. Pakistan believes in democracy and pluralism. A society that strives for equality and dignity is undoubtedly essential for addressing the rage and anger arising from political or economic injustices. We acknowledge that without these steps, this rage will find new ways of expression. 12. Our government is committed to ensure improved access to physical assets, education, vocational skills, training and other education services that enhance human capital of the poor and enable them to generate better income through gainful employment opportunities. I must acknowledge the efforts made by Pakistan Army is not just fighting terrorism, but in the sphere of rehabilitation as well. Within rehabilitation, de-radicalization is an important part to which the Army has again contributed immensely and provided us a nucleus to build on. The SWAT de-radicalization program is therefore, in my opinion, a model of other relevant organizations to learn from and replicate. We are aware that without an effective national strategy marked by de-radicalization will not succeed fully and comprehensively. Ladies and gentlemen, on our way to fight terrorism, we have challenges too. A. Pakistan's efforts in political and military domain for combating terrorism need recognition at international level. There is a need to bridge trust deficit and allow Pakistan space to maneuver and contribute significantly without international pressure. B. Cooperation in counter-terrorism warrants a partnership approach which fully accommodates others' interest and respect for the clearly stipulated red lines. Drone attacks inside our borders are in conflict with the ground realities, impacting negatively on our efforts in controlling radical trends. C. Sustainable success would come from promoting socio-economic development and resolving long-standing political disputes. The global resolve should manifest commitment in addressing root causes that militants exploit as psychological tools. D. Working out such a strategy calls for a serious and enduring commitment amongst stakeholders. Pursuing narrow interests at the cost of coalition partners and aspirations of people will be self-defeating. Sovereignty and self-respect of partners is to be respected.